All right, let's get started. Tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do.
So, my name is Lucas Osborne, and I'm currently a senior at Ohio State University. I'm a film studies major, and for the past probably 3 to 5 years, give or take, I've been taking videography much more seriously and pretty much have dove straight in. This is like my dream, it's my passion, and seems like every day I become stronger and stronger about this passion, and yeah, I've dedicated my life to it, and I really enjoy it. There's been so many opportunities that come with it, meeting incredible people, having your own platform to be able to share your art, and just so many fun and interesting opportunities that come that I never would expect. I think that's why I love it the most. But yeah.
I think we can see the amount of dedication you've put in because you post literally every day. I think you're over 1,000 posts daily, which is crazy, by the way. And congrats. I really respect that a lot. Um,
Thank you.
when did you create your first piece of content?
Um, hmm. I think as far back as I can remember, I think it was probably 2017, maybe. It was a family vacation. We went on a cruise, and my dad bought a GoPro for the family, and I was kind of like the one in charge of it. For some reason, I just was more familiar with it. So I was like, all right, I'll take control of this. And I just made like a fun family trip recap and posted it right before the new year. And
Was it on the
yeah, that
same
kind of,
Instagram account?
um,
Because that would be cool.
I don't think it was.
Ah, okay.
No, I think this was before I made my photography
I see.
account.
I see.
I think yeah, it was on my personal account.
Okay. What convinced you to start vlogging on a daily basis?
So it's been a little over 3 years now. I was on TikTok and came across this creator. He goes by B Figgy, but his name is Braden Figueroa. He's about 4 or 5 years older than me, but I just was on his account and just scrolling. I'm like, okay, this is really cool. Like, this is something I want to do someday. He was like traveling. He was working with the Lakers, and I just reached out to him like, hey, I want to do what you do someday. Like this videography stuff is like super cool. I'm like, how can I like dive into that? How can I get better at that? And I didn't have a camera at the time. And he's like, well, you could start with like a daily vlog. The camera doesn't matter. You can just start with your phone. And as long as you just edit that as much as you can consistently, or over time, you're just going to get better and better. And a good thing about the vlog also is it builds a personal brand so people can um, just get to know me a little bit and just see kind of into my life, my day to day. So, yeah, I just began vlogging one day. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take his word for it. Let's just see where this goes. And after a week, I was hooked. It was like, wow, I mean, like, I just did it every day for a week. Why can't I just keep doing this? So I was like, all right, let's get to a month. All right, let's get to 3 months. Let's get to a year. And then, like, it just kept going. So I'm like, well, I really enjoy this. It's really fun to document life. People seem to enjoy it. And I'm becoming a better editor. So I just kept going with it.
I see. Have you ever missed a day, like not posted one day before? So you haven't missed a day since you began.
Posting, there definitely has been a day where it might not have got out, but like the day is still documented.
Oh,
Like,
okay, I see.
because like maybe I just like didn't post it, but like I
Okay,
still had it.
I
Yeah.
see. What, as a creator who travels a lot, how do you have the confidence to go out there like in public and just film yourself? Because I know, I'm assuming that a lot of people give you the look whenever you're holding a camera
Mhm.
and talking to it. So how do you deal with that, and how are you confident?
Yeah. It's definitely not easy. Especially starting out. Like in high school, I used to be very shy, and I still kind of am a little shy. Social anxiety used to be a big issue for me, but over time, just with consistency, it's gotten better. But a really huge part of it has also been making friends in the industry. Now that I have a lot of friends that we all kind of do the same thing, maybe we don't all vlog, but we're all filmmakers or videographers, whatever you call it, and just our support towards each other, I think, is just really strong. And it's just like, okay, like maybe the society and random people don't know what I'm doing, but it's like my friends know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. It's important to me and I enjoy it. So it's like, who cares what anybody thinks? Like, whatever. Like, I'm gonna film myself.
Yeah, for sure,
So,
for sure. What is your strategy on like creating daily videos? Do you usually film like a few days before? Do you film? I don't think you film in batches, right? You don't film 7 videos in one day. Yeah, how do you do that?
um, for a daily vlog, it's very simple. I just whenever I wake up, turn on the shower. I mean, maybe I'll get a clip of the shower, maybe I'll get a clip of my breakfast and just kind of go from there wherever I like drive or walk to, just kind of capture. I like to try to capture like from place to place. I don't like to like leave gaps in between there. But it's very simple. Just vlog when you feel is needed throughout the day and then drop all the footage in the timeline and cut it up at night.
Oh, so you post it at night straight away,
Oh, I don't post at night. No, I'll edit it at night and
and
then
then do
like the
you
next day put
oh,
it
the
out.
next morning or something you post it.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, I see. Besides your daily lifestyle, is there any other ways you get ideas from your content?
Um, Definitely from just inspiration on Instagram and TikTok, YouTube, just keeping up with friends. A lot of inspiration comes from trips, I'd say, and traveling. Um, I don't watch a lot of other movies. I feel like people a lot of time would think that a lot of inspiration comes from movies, and I'm sure like there can be, but I don't know. I think sometimes just getting out and experiencing life is the
Finding
best
your
way to
own way
find
through it.
inspiration.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Besides creating content, you must have like a pretty busy life. How do you prioritize content, and how do you deal with those days where you, oh, I forgot to film this clip, or I only have like, let's say, 10 clips today. How am I going to make a video? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, sometimes that's just unfortunate. Like if I forget to vlog, or maybe I only get 5 clips of me at my desk, it's like, well, like for the daily vlog, it's like okay, like we're just gonna go with that. We'll just roll with that. If it's another like piece of specific content where like I actually like am making like maybe a behind the scenes video of something or an actual like video, I'll probably just reshoot or just get some more footage. But as
I
far as the
see.
blog goes, like if I only get 10 clips, that's just how it's gonna be.
If when you say just go with that, how do you? Because I talk to a lot of creators, and some of them are really like they have such a perfectionism to them, so they want their video to be perfect. What do you think of that? Is that the right mindset?
Yeah, so I can definitely relate to that. My friends always get on me about being a perfectionist. When it comes to actually creating like professional videos or like more highly produced videos, like I'm definitely like a perfectionist. Like every little detail has to be perfect, which kind of sucks because I sit there and just think of all the freaking ways that it could be. But when it comes to the vlog, at the end of the day, like I'd kind of do it for me, like it's a documentary piece. And now that I have the streak, I really like keeping the streak going because I just don't want to break it at this point. So sometimes if it's just unfortunate where it's not the best piece of content, it's like, well, that's life. Not every day is perfect, not every day is the best. And not every day I'm going to remember to get 50 clips. So it's like I want to keep that consistency. I still want to edit something and I'm still trying. So like at the end of the day, like in my head it still counts. Like I'm still documenting life, still keeping the streak, and I still made that video. Maybe it's not the best, but that's just kind of how I think about it.
Yeah. In terms of like gathering footage and filming footage, what's the bar that you set for yourself? How many clips do you like tell yourself I need to get this day?
I don't think I don't really set a number, but I do like to at the end of the day when I'm airdropping my clips, I do like to see like okay, 25 or more clips would be like really nice. And if I didn't hit 25, it's like, dang, didn't get it. But like
Still getting better.
25 clips, but I'll end up cutting those 25 into like 50 or because I'll trim them down very short, so it's a lot more. But 25 is a pretty good number.
I see. And do you have a timetable that you follow for like video editing or maybe even scripting videos every day?
What do you mean by
A timetable, because I
timetable?
usually have, I dedicate one day for filming, another day for editing, and then so on. But in your
Yeah.
case, it might be different because it's like daily. But I was wondering how you find time to edit your videos.
Yeah. A lot of the time it's right before I go to bed, and if it's not, it's first thing when I wake up. Um, yeah, in the beginning, it would take me like an hour or so, but now that I've done it so long, if I have a song, I can do it in 10 to 15 minutes. Finding a song is the most difficult part. Like, I could scroll and try to find a song for 20 minutes, and
Oh,
that
really?
wastes a lot of my time. But
That's interesting. Okay. Do you have any productivity hacks then to make everything more efficient?
yeah, so in my on my SSD, I have Eclipse Music and Final favorited on my like I don't know if you have a Mac, but on the like Finder thing you can like pin those. So I just pinned those three. First thing I do, AirDrop all my clips to my Mac, press on clips, and then inside of clips, inside of all three except the music folder. So Final and clips, I have each month of the year. Well, actually, it's first the year, so like 2024. Then
Yeah.
you go in, click through whatever month you're in,
Yeah.
and then you add, say today's the 22nd. So then you just do a folder for 22, airdrop the clips, throw all the clips in there, and then you just drag those into your video editor, throw the music in, cut it up, and then once you export, you do the same thing. You put it in year, into the month, into the day, into the final folder.
I see. And how do you like keep all of your footage?
So yeah, that's a problem I had.
How do you manage all of that storage?
It's bad. So
Oh,
I have about I think 11 SSDs, and it's not all vlog footage. There's like 2 or 3 4 terabytes that are pretty full
oh
from
man.
vlog. But yeah, I'm wanting to upgrade to a NAS system soon, so that'll be a lot more storage. But yeah, I definitely have an issue. I save way too much.
So every
Um,
single raw clip that you film, you keep it.
yeah, I'll delete it off my phone,
Yeah,
but
yeah, of course, yeah. Do
it's
you
just
like
sitting on
do
the
you reuse
SSD.
it from time to time or you don't?
So that's the thing. Sometimes like I've kind of gotten into running lately, so kind of keeping up with like sometime I'm probably gonna make a video about it where I just like pull a bunch of running clips. Or if I'm on a shoot, a lot of the times like behind the scenes kind of stuff, I like to keep that kind of stuff so I can make BTS videos. And sometimes I like to make like inspirational videos where I'll pull just maybe videos of me sitting at my desk, maybe me walking back from class. I was talking to the camera. There's a lot of times where like I'll film stuff that doesn't even make the vlog, and I'll just like document it and keep it just because I never know when I'm gonna use it.
I see. Fred has a question I just noticed. Let me read it out. What do you do if your life is not so interesting to vlog daily without being becoming repetitive? That is an interesting question.
Yeah, so for me, I never want to do anything that's fake or for the blog. I know like um when Jake Paul and Logan Paul were really big on the vlogging train or whatever, they would like do things for the vlog. Like that was their TV show, that was their life. For me, it's completely different. It's just the reality. It's like if I have a class, I go to class. If I want to go run, if I want to go hang out with my friends, that's just what's going to be documented. And sometimes if I don't feel like doing anything or I'm sick or maybe I don't go anywhere, like maybe all the vlog's going to be is 5 clips of me in my bedroom editing or doing whatever. Like that's just what happened that day. So,
Hmm, I see. Do you ever feel burnt out from creating daily videos? I mean, I assume you do. So if so, how do you deal with being unmotivated in those days?
so yeah, definitely burnout is definitely a real thing. I haven't really felt it with the vlog. It's normally when I'm creating a lot of other content for other clients or just for fun. Sometimes it can get built up. Dealing with the motivation, a lot of times it just comes down to the dedication. Like you just gotta get it done sometimes. If it doesn't matter if you don't feel like doing it, or some days I'm tired, like you just still gotta put in the work. If it's really bad and you really don't want to do it, sometimes just taking a breather, taking a day off, going on a walk, hanging out with family always helps. Stuff like that.
I see. In terms of other creators, other small creators who want to be at your position and are planning to make daily vlogs, what do you tell them if they say like, "Oh, my life is too boring. The things that I do aren't interesting." What would you say to them, and what tips would you give?
Yeah, so that's funny because starting out, that's like the first thing I told my mentor too is like, well, my
Mm,
life's boring, like I live in the middle of nowhere at the time, just with my family, like nothing's going on. And he told me, he's like, somebody out there, there's gonna be one person that thinks your life is interesting, or they're gonna think that one aspect of your life is cool. Like you never know who across the world is gonna see your stuff. Like could be somebody all the way in like Europe that sees me, oh, my family has a goat, or like we live on a farm, or like just something that they don't have in their life that they're gonna find interesting. And you just gotta get past that. It doesn't matter how many people are seeing your stuff. Like, doesn't matter if there's a million people that care about it or just one or two. For me, I enjoy like trying to inspire maybe one person a day, like just one person. I don't know, like it's just super
mm,
cool that through social media you can make an impact in somebody else's life. Like just kind of cool. So yeah, I think the biggest part is just getting over. It doesn't matter who's watching. You got to do it for you at the end of the day. And yeah, it's got to
that's
be for you.
that's facts. Would you say passion is more important than discipline, or discipline is more important than passion in terms of staying consistent?
It's a tricky one because I could go both ways. For consistency, it's going to come down to dedication because, like, yes, you can be. It goes hand in hand though
Yeah, it
because
does.
like that's a hard
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
But I think dedication because I think some days you could be more passionate than other days.
yeah.
So I think, yeah, you got to just be dedicated to it.
And some days you can be less disciplined or more disciplined than other days. Yeah. If you had the chance to talk to your younger self, what advice would you give to him?
I would just tell him to stop worrying because it's gonna be all right. I'm a big believer in just if you just keep going and you're consistent and you're passionate and you put in the work, like good things are gonna come your way. God's gonna bless you in so many ways that you're not even gonna be able to believe. And if you just stop worrying and just know that, hey, I'm gonna put in the work, I'm gonna do my best, and the rest is all gonna just come true. It's just about trusting the process at the end of the day.
Facts, facts. Do you ever worry about your content, about social media, about what your audience thinks, and how do you deal with that?
Yeah, it seems to come in waves. There'll be good months where I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna do this. We're gonna have fun with it. Things are good. Then there's other days that come and it's like, shoot, like I find myself looking at my story views or looking at how many likes something got, and I'm like, why didn't it get this? And I don't know, it just
Mm,
comes and goes sometimes. I think it's just kind of natural because I care about my platform. I care about my content and where it goes and the reaction from people sometimes. But um I try not to focus too much on the numbers. Starting out, like the first year of vlogging or anything, nobody knew my name. Nobody knew who I was. But now 3 years later, like I have a decent amount of following and people reach out from time to time, just talking about it. So
I see. A lot of new creators who come into the space also take it a little bit too fast. Well, not really too fast, but they expect things to take off really quickly. What do you say to
mhm.
those people who are a little bit impatient with their journey? Let's say, because I've been posting for 9 months and sometimes I get impatient. What would you say to someone like that?
Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to what your purpose is. It's like, are you trying to impress people or are you doing this because you love it? And at the end of the day, if you love it, it's going to come back to you. Like eventually things will come your way and you will get those people to care about your content. But if you're out there looking for, okay, why aren't they caring? Why aren't I getting the views yet? You just don't have the right mindset because that's not going to get you where you want to be because you're just going to be frustrated the whole time. You just got to dig deep and find your purpose for it.
I see. If there's one thing you would prioritize if you had to restart, let's say if you restarted tomorrow, if what's the one thing you would prioritize?
Mm.
Could be editing, filming.
Um, I think that's a tough one. One thing I'd prioritize if I could start tomorrow. Probably like reaching out to people. Yeah, that would definitely be it. The game changer for me was definitely like finding my friends that are doing the same thing as me because we can just all grow so much faster together. Like asking questions, trial and error. This person failed doing this, lets us know, like, okay, let's not do that. This is how you do it. Oh, you know how to edit this. Okay, can you teach me how to do this? So definitely like reaching out to people, finding friends early on would definitely be something I would, if I had to restart tomorrow, that'd be the first thing I do.
What about mentors? Would you reach out to mentors?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the guy I was talking about earlier, Braden, like completely changed my life. I mean, it went from one TikTok DM to me starting a daily blog to him starting his own course. I took his course. I then met like just hundreds of other creators across the country, and now I'm starting a creative agency with four other guys that were in that course, and we're all best friends. Like, yeah, like definitely reach out and like having a mentor is like the biggest thing. It's huge.
Do you think it's a must-have for small creators, or do you think it's possible to do everything by yourself? Because a lot of people, especially creators, are like very independent.
hmm I definitely feel that. I don't think it's necessary. It's only going to help you and speed up the process. A lot of what my mentors have taught me have it probably would have taken me like so many more years to figure out all those kind of details. Even if I was like scrolling YouTube trying to learn, like the mentor basically just speeds up the process. I think it's still possible without it, but it's going to help you really like in the long run for sure.
For sure. Fred also has another question. Kai, I just noticed that you joined. If you have a question for Lucas, you can type it in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself, by the way. What social media platform would you recommend to start out and build momentum?
I'd say there's really not one I would choose. I don't think you should limit it to yourself. I would say YouTube is the one that I wouldn't recommend first. But I definitely would prioritize Instagram and TikTok. I began on TikTok with the vlogs, and then I ended up bringing it over to Instagram. I don't really do any longer form stuff, so I'm not really on YouTube.
So this is
So
for like short form only. So if you're prioritizing short form, you would go to Instagram and TikTok.
yeah,
Okay, I see. Cool. Um, do you have anything to promote? Feel free to tell everyone what you're up to, your social media platforms, where they can find you.
sure. Yeah, my Instagram is LO Productions, and my other creative agency that I just began with four other of my best friends is called Together Creative. And yeah, we'll be building on both of those platforms. And yeah,
Cool. That's a dope name, by the way.
thank you.
All right, let's get into the final Q&A section. If anyone else has any questions for Lucas, this is your chance to ask him one-on-one, and we'll wait for a few seconds. If not, and that is pretty much it. I already followed Going to Doom Scroll to get some inspiration. Yeah, the consistency is crazy, brother. I really respect that because 3 years over 1,000 days, it's just insane. I couldn't even imagine myself doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kai, Fred, you got any more questions?
Yeah, so Ken has his own creators group, Damn, I cannot pronounce it.
Creatopia.
Yeah, Creatopia. My getting brain fog is getting late here. What other platforms did you use to connect with other creators?
So through Instagram, when I found my mentor and he created a course, Discord was another platform that we used for communication and communities. But as far as social platforms, Instagram and TikTok are really the only two that I'm on.
I think Instagram is a lot easier to network. Like you can just DM people. Sometimes, in my experience, like reaching out to influencers like yourself, um, most of them have their DMs closed. But on Instagram, you could just request a DM for them. So yeah, I would recommend Instagram in terms of connecting. It's a
Yeah.
good question. Anything else, guys? If not, that is pretty much it. Thank you very much, Lucas, for joining. I really
Of course.
appreciate it. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'll send you this recording if you want it. No questions from me. Currently gonna go follow Doom Scroll as Fred mentioned. Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, that's it. Thank you, Lucas, and have
Awesome.
a nice
Thank
day.
you, guys.
God bless.